What do you call someone who breaks into your country illegally? Undocumented, irregular, or just illegal? Because on TV right now, a former CNN guy is yelling at a current CNN guy for refusing to use the word illegal, while they all pretend this is about kindness instead of power. And if you think this is just about grammar, you're already losing. Here's where things get interesting. So, quick setup. You've got Scott Jennings, a Republican commentator, doing something you almost never see on corporate news. Actually pushing back. Someone on the panel tries to tie Trump's immigration stance to sex trafficking, implying that if you support strong borders, you're basically helping traffickers. Jennings shuts it down. Calm. Surgical. He points out there's zero evidence for that smear, and that it's disgusting to weaponize a crime as evil as sex trafficking just to score points on Trump voters. Then Chris Cuomo, who used to work at CNN, jumps in. His big issue? Not that CNN tried to connect millions of voters to sex traffickers, but that Jennings used the phrase illegal immigrant instead of undocumented. Priorities, right? But it's even getting worse. Cuomo goes after the word illegal like it's the real crime. He pushes this idea that using illegal immigrant is somehow dehumanizing, and that undocumented is the respectful term. Jennings fires back, "These people are in the country in violation of the law." That's literally what illegal means. And then they get into the real fight. Who controls the language? Because if you can't call something illegal, how long before you can't call it wrong? And here's where things take a step further. This whole segment is basically a live demo of how the media runs interference for the narrative. Step 1. Smear your political opponent with something extreme, like sex trafficking. Step 2. When someone challenges that lie, don't defend your claim. Change the subject to kindness, tone, or language. Step 3. Shame anyone who uses plain words. I saw this up close when I worked at a small newspaper in my 20s. Same economic story, 3 different headlines, 3 totally different emotions. That's when I learned. News is not just information, it's framing. What you call something decides how people feel about it. Call it illegal alien, people think, law, border, rules. Call it undocumented migrant, people think, paperwork problem. Like they forgot to bring their library card, not that they crossed a sovereign border. But then he said this unbelievable thing. The craziest part of this whole debate is that it's happening while real people are dealing with the fallout. Cities are blowing their budgets. Crime stories are getting buried. Hospitals and schools are overloaded. But on TV, the fight is over whether the word illegal might hurt someone's feelings. I remember when my parents lost most of their savings because they trusted a professional at the bank. Polite language, nice office, wrong advice. That's when I learned. Experts can smile while they wreck your life. Same thing here. Soft language doesn't mean soft impact. If you flood a country with people who entered illegally, someone pays. And spoiler, it's not the panel on cable news. Here's where things get interesting. Let's pull this out from just immigration and zoom out to the bigger game. Because this same word war is happening with AI, with finance, with censorship. They don't say censorship, they say content moderation. They don't say financial control, they say safety, fraud prevention, protecting democracy. You know how easy it is going to be in a world with AI filters and digital dollars to label any opinion they don't like as harmful, extremist, or misinformation and just quietly switch you off? You post a clip calling illegal immigration illegal. An AI system flags it as hate speech. Your bank, tied into some ESG-style risk score, quietly reviews your account. Next thing you know, your payment gets delayed, your ad revenue is restricted, and you're told it's all a technical issue. Nice and clean, no jackboots, just code. But it's even getting worse. This is why a dumb-sounding argument over undocumented versus illegal actually matters. Because today it's, hey, don't say illegal, that's harsh. Tomorrow it's, hey, saying illegal breaks our hate speech policy. Next week it's, accounts that repeatedly break policy may lose access to monetization, credit, or services. And you'll have smart people in suits telling you, no one is punishing you, we're just following the guidelines. That strategic realignment line they used when I got laid off? Same energy. Polite words, brutal impact. You change the language first, so you can change the rules later. And here's where things take a step further. Now add AI on top. These big media companies and platforms are already training AI to scan text, audio, video, and decide what's allowed. Who sets the definitions? The same crowd that thinks saying illegal immigrant is basically a hate crime. So when that AI is plugged into payment systems, banks, ad networks, and digital IDs, whose speech do you think gets throttled first? Trump voters? Border hawks? Anyone calling out open borders nonsense? They won't need to call you a criminal. They'll just call you non-compliant. But then, the unbelievable thing happened. Here's the paradox. While legacy media is melting down over words, regular people are tuning them out and building their own platforms. This entire channel, the comment section with Thomas Paul, runs on an AI pipeline that doesn't belong to a TV network. This video, by the way, was created with Fludge.io, the same system that powers this entire channel. If you're watching this and thinking, I'd love to run a YouTube channel like this, but I don't want to be on camera, this is exactly for you. Fludge researches, creates, and posts YouTube videos for you, fully automated, but you're always in control. You can let Fludge find trending topics in your niche, write the script, generate the avatar, and upload. Your job is to review and hit publish, or take over any step yourself. Do the research, write the script, even record your own video if you want, and let Fludge handle everything else. Over time, it learns your style and gets better, so this isn't low-effort AI spam. It's actually how channels like this one put out consistent research content without a giant team. If you want to start a channel without showing your face, without burning out, and without sacrificing quality, check out Fludge.io. Here's where things get interesting. All right, so what should you watch for next? 3 things. First, watch the language. Anytime they try to shame you out of using clear words, illegal, border, crime, citizen, that's a tell. They're not protecting people. They're protecting a narrative. Second, watch the tech. How are banks, payment apps, and platforms talking about risk, safety, and misinformation? That's where the next wave of control will hide. Third, watch the alignment. When corporate media, big tech, global forums, and bureaucrats all start using the exact same buzzwords at the same time, that's coordinated. Not a coincidence. You don't need to be paranoid. You just need to be awake. But it's even getting worse because the more the real world breaks, border chaos, inflation, crime, the more desperate they get about controlling the story. Instead of fixing policy, they try to fix your vocabulary. Instead of securing the border, they secure the narrative. So they fight to retire the word illegal, not the illegal behavior. And then when regular people push back, they get labeled extreme, which, by the way, is the warm-up word right before dangerous and right before deplatformed. So, final thought. If you lose the right to describe reality honestly, you lose the ability to resist what comes next. Disclaimer before we wrap, nothing in this video is legal, financial, or immigration advice. It's commentary and opinion. Do your own research and think for yourself, because the people in charge are counting on you not doing that. If you made it this far, you're exactly the kind of person I want in this audience. Drop a comment. Do you say illegal immigrant, undocumented, or something else? And why? Hit like if you're tired of being gaslit by word games. And subscribe to The Comment Section with Thomas Paul for more news, finance, AI, and politics breakdowns without the corporate filter. I'll see you in the next one.